Hi, C Block. Welcome back to week 3. Oh my goodness. I'm excited. This week we are going to do some graphing from an equation. Before you get scared, there's 3 parts, week 3, 3 parts to this assignment. The first one is graphing lines from equations. This is something we can do. This should be something that you guys are like, oh yeah, I've got this. So if my equation is y equals negative 3x plus 3, what's the y-intercept? Where do I begin? Yeah, I begin right here at the y-intercept. This is my b. So I begin right up at 3. I just went from 0, 1, 2, 3, because this is positive 3. And now what's my slope? Where do I go? My slope is right here. Remember, if there's no denominator, it's 1. So this is down 3, right 1. It's down because it's negative, and right because it's always to the right. So I go to my y-intercept. I go down 3, 1, 2, 3. I go to the right 1, and I make my second point. Now I can draw my line. Let's see if I can use this other pen. Yeah, there's my line. I graphed my line from an equation. This is your first set of problems. I think there's 10 of them. So you need to do 10 problems like this. Once you complete those 10 problems, we're going to bring it up a level and we're going to do something called graphing piecewise functions. And if you notice, it has the word piece in it, which means this has one piece and then a second piece. This graph has 2 different parts, the first part and the second part. It's the same thing we've been doing, but now we're adding in these inequalities. So before I even worry about this, let's understand what this says. X is less than or equal to negative 2. So this is less than or equal to. So I'm going to find negative 2, and we're talking about x. So this is my x. I'm going to find 1, 2, negative 2. And I'm going to draw a line because a dashed line, this is an important part. And if it's less than or equal to negative 2, then that means it's going to be a closed circle going to the left. Closed because it's equal, and going to the left because it's less than. Okay. My second equality is x is greater than 1. So I'm going to find 1 right here. I'm going to draw my line again. And this time, is it going to be an open or closed circle? Open because it's just greater than. And 1, since it's greater than, we're going to the right. Okay. So now we have these 2 parts. Well, in this first part, right, because we want less than negative 2, this is for my first piece. What's my equation? Negative x minus 3. Where do I begin? Well, this is my y-intercept. And my slope is negative 1 over 1. So I'm going to begin at negative 3. 1, 2, 3. Right here. And my slope is down 1 over 1. I'm just going to make a little point. Do you see that? I went down 1, over 1. But this is my first piece, which means it's only in my first section because it's x is less than or equal to -2. So when I draw my line, I am not going to draw my line here. I am not going to draw my line here. I'm only going to start drawing my line in section 2. So I only started in section 2, and at this point it is a closed circle because I said right there it's closed and it's going to the left. So it's closed going to the left. All right. Will I have any line, any piece in the middle here? No, because this is less than or equal to -2. And then my second piece, my piece 2, is greater than 1, which is over here. So I'm going to do the same thing. I have my line. Where do I begin? My y-intercept is -7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And my slope is 2 over 1. So I go up 1, 2 over 1. And it's going to be an open circle right on the line. And then I'm just going to draw my line again. But I'm not going to draw it in the middle. I'm only going to draw it to the right. What? So this equation right here is y equals -1 over 1 x minus 3. But I begin at this point. And then my pink equation is y equals 2x minus 7 from right here, but I begin here. This is where I begin. This is where I begin. Very challenging, very, very challenging. If you go to try the problems and you do not understand, that is okay. Email me and I will give you more examples to help you. Oh man, you know my email. Email me and I'll give you more examples to help you if this was not enough. Now, believe it or not, we have one more problem I want to try. Holy moly. One more problem. It's example 3, which is graphing quadratic and linear systems. So, quadratic means I'm dealing with x squared, which means my graph looks like a U. Linear means mx plus b, and I just have a line. And systems means there's 2, which is true. I have 2 equations. Let's start with what we know. We know how to graph the line. Which one is the line? Is it the first equation or the second equation? Yeah, it's the second equation. This is my line because it's just x. It's not x squared. Okay. Is this y equals mx plus b? Nope. So I've got to make it that. So first I'm going to do minus 2x on both sides. So now I have y equals -2x plus 1. Now I can graph this. So let's graph it. I begin at 1, right here, 1. My slope is -2 over 1. So I go down 1, 2, and I go over 1. And I'm going to graph my line. That's the first part. I'm actually going to extend my line in case I need it to be extended. Okay. So my first equation, my linear equation, is done. Now I have my quadratic equation. It's okay, we can do it. I'm going to move the paper up and I'm going to write the equation on the bottom. Okay, I'm going to write the equation again right here. Y equals negative x squared minus 4x plus 4. And if you remember, we can always use an XY table to help us graph. Always, always, always. So I'm just going to pick some numbers. I'm going to pick -3, -1, 0, +1, and +3. These are probably good numbers to try. Your choice. And now I'm going to substitute. What does x equal? -3. So I'm going to substitute it in. So I'm going to have negative, because it's negative, x, but what's x? -3 squared minus 4 times x, but what's x? -3 plus 4. This looks scary. Don't let it scare you. -3 squared is -3 times -3. That's negative from outside 9 plus 12 plus 4. -9 plus 12 is 3 plus 4 is 7. All of this can be done in a calculator, or you can try to do it in your head. Let's try the next one, -1. Negative, because it's negative, -1 squared minus 4 times -1 plus 4. All right, this is -1 plus 4 plus 4, which is 3 plus 4, which is 7. Interesting. Let's try the next one. 0. Well, 0, this means 0, 0, so it's just 4. The next one is 1, so -1 minus 4 plus 4. -5 plus 4 is -1. 3, I'm just putting it in the equation, -9 minus 12 plus 4. Well, that's -21 plus 4 is -17. All right. Let's graph it now. -3, 7, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my goodness, it's right on the graph. -1, 7, -1, 7. 0, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, -1, 1, -1. It's right on the graph. Cool. So my graph looks like this. And the solution is where they intersect, right here. So the points, -1 or -3, I'll write it again, -3, 7, and 1, -1. This is super difficult. Give it a try. Give it a try. That's all I am asking. Okay, you guys are amazing. Have a great week. I also, one more thing. I have office hours this week. If you want to sign up for my office hours, I have a link in the Google Classroom, or you can email me. Thank you.